This is a Legends of the Wild Darien Gap jaguar expedition, and our party comprises 15 people. Here we are 4 kilometers from the Colombian border, and we've walked for 4 days from the end of the Pan American Highway. Today we're working with Ricardo Moreno and his jaguar program. The expedition leader is Rick Morales, whose company is called Jungle Treks. We have 9 porters and guides working with us, all of them really under the guidance of Segundo, who works with Rick on all of his jungle expeditions.
The Darien Gap is the last link of the chain that connects the rainforest between Central and South America. The Darien Gap spans across not only the countries of Panama and Colombia, but also across the Atlantic and Pacific coasts. So it's a very important stronghold of nature between these 2 countries.
Legends of the Wild offer them a combination of the extreme adventure trekking experience with animal conservation, wildlife conservation, nature conservation. I think that those 2 things can naturally come together, and those 2 things can naturally be symbiotic. And I think that as we move forward in time, nature conservation is going to need as much support as possible from different forms of tourism to find the funding to allow us to continue to protect endangered animals. Ricardo Moreno is our naturalist guide. On each of our Legends of the Wild expeditions, we have a naturalist guide as well as an expedition guide. And we plan the expeditions so that they coincide with a research program that, for example, Ricardo has to conduct in Panama.
I'm going to set the camera trap here in this place because years ago, in 2004 and 2005, we had the camera very close to this place. And we had a very good picture of the male jaguar, one of the female jaguar, and I think 2 or 3 different pumas. And I am setting this camera to take picture every 5 seconds. Means like if one animal cross in front of the trigger, they took a picture, and after 5 seconds they are ready to take another one. For example, if it's a group of wild peccaries around, pass one, take a picture, 1, 2, 3, 4 peccaries, 5 seconds after, another one and another one. And if we want to conserve, we need to know what animals are inside of this forest, and in terms of education, because as I told you, education is the key of the conservation, and it's very important to this data show to the people who never comes, and if they never come to this kind of place, if we can tell them, well, you know, we have this and that, we need to protect them, maybe they can understand much better, even if they never come to a place like this.
Deforestation is reclaiming parts of Darien. The jaguar is losing its prey because of the encroachment of ranchers. So the jaguar is being forced to go closer to the ranching community. The jaguar is being killed. So while we walk through this land, 2 things are happening. One is we are losing parts of the rainforest because of deforestation. And secondly, we're losing the fauna, we're losing the animals.
Well, the problems with rainforests right now is humans. I think that's everywhere. But very specifically, the problem is extraction of hardwoods, which leads to colonization of wilderness areas, and then eventually turning those wilderness areas into farmland. So we're losing the rainforest, which is an ecosystem that provides many services to the world, not just Panama, but to the world.
This is a wildcat tracks, and we need to be sure if it's a jaguar track or it's a puma track, and for that I need to measure the tracks very well, and I can see it's like 6.2 centimeter wide, and it's like 8.3 long, and only the puma have this kind of the measure, like it's more longer than wider. The jaguar is quite the same size and it's bigger than this.
I feel like super good right now because I charge my batteries and at the same time I know I am breathing like super pure air. And imagine if we can destroy this wonderful area. It's going to be crazy. People need to know really, really how important is to maintain this wonderful forest. The jaguar in our forest, the big guy, the king of this forest. It's amazing to be here and we know they are around.
In addition to the sort of the extreme physical experience of going through the jungle for a week or for 2 weeks with Ricardo Moreno or another biologist, there is the incredible psychological transformation that the individual undergoes who participates in one of our expeditions. And as you know, as I've mentioned in other occasions, one in every sense of the word truly leaves one's world behind. One's mind undergoes a cleansing that I don't think one can do anywhere else. And I think that contributes to creating sort of a transcendental experience for participants in these expeditions, so that by the time they get back to their world, they will have felt that they have truly taken themselves physically and mentally into a whole other dimension, a whole other world.